Altitude Sports Radio Network. Colorado Avalanche Stanley Cup playoff hockey. Post-game coverage continues now on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. This is a special edition of Between the Pipes with Alex Ryan-Emmy and Mark Springer. Live from Buffalo Rose in Golden. Here's Raj and Spring.
A special edition of Between the Pipes live from Golden, Colorado at the Buffalo Rose. Alex Ryan-Emmy, you guys know me better as Raj, alongside my partner, my co-host, the radio machine, Mark Springer, back live on 92.5. You can watch us on Twitch, on YouTube, on X as well. Jump in there in the comments. We'll be hanging out with you guys for the better part of an hour. Avs win 5-1. Game 1 of the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. Spring, it's our 7th postseason doing this thing together.
My God, time flies.
And what a great start to year number 7.
Yeah, no, that's 5-1 against the mighty Dallas Stars. Now, they don't have Jason Robertson because Pete DeBoer, and there he is. He's on our screen. We got Altitude TV. We just saw the tail end of Pete DeBoer's press conference, or at least some of his comments. I hope he said something along the lines of, I'm an idiot for playing Jason Robertson. And really not just Jason Robertson. He played everybody. He played Mikko. Now, play Mikko all you want. Mikko didn't do much in this game. But playing Jason Robertson in that game 82 in Nashville, and your starters lose 5-1, and Robertson leaves in a knee brace, and now he's week to week. That's awful from Pete DeBoer. It's absolutely terrible, but the Avs will certainly take it. And I guess Miro Heiskanen, we knew it was unlikely he would be available to start this series. Now he's day-to-day, as he did skate with the Stars today, but he's coming off of knee surgery, and that felt like kind of like a desperation assessment of Miro Heiskanen even to start the series, to immediately say he's day-to-day when it was questionable whether or not he would even play in this series in the first place. It's almost as if the Stars were feeling the heat before this game even started, and now they've really got to be feeling it because they've dropped one on their home ice. All the good hard work that they put in this season, the trade for Mikko Rantanen, home ice gone, just like that. Do they rush Miro Heiskanen back? I thought when I heard his comments earlier today that they're going to rush this dude back. Now they're down 0-1. They're going to rush this dude back.
There's certainly a possibility, and that is a star defenseman. He is without a doubt a top 5 D-man in the National Hockey League this year. He had 8 points in a 6-game series against the Avs last year, 4 goals from the blue line from Miro Heiskanen. He led all Dallas Stars players in points in that 6-game outing against the Avs. Jason Robertson was the next player down the list, a 7-point performance in round 2 last year where Matt Duchene ends that thing in double overtime. Both of those players not available for Pete DeBoer. Now, Heiskanen's injury was where he collided with Mark Stone earlier on in the season. He has knee surgery in January. They thought that was going to be a 4-month recovery. He's now right at the beginning of month 3, maybe right in the middle of month 3. So it would be an opportunity for them to get him back earlier. Now, do you want to do that with a defenseman, a star defenseman who's under 27 years old? I don't know if that's the right choice. But you don't get that many shots, right? You don't get that many kicks at the can.
No, they're the 2 seed in the Central. They have home ice against the Avs, and they're going to feel the heat to play Heiskanen in this series, and I do wonder if it will be too soon, and we'll see if the same thing applies to Jason Robertson as well. Okay, so talking about Stars injuries, and look, it hurt Dallas not having Robertson and Heiskanen tonight. You look at the decor that Dallas throws out there without Miro Heiskanen. It's Thomas Harley and a bunch of dudes. That's what it is. Without Jason Robertson, you really need Mikko Rantanen to step up. Mikko Rantanen, a -2 tonight, played 18 minutes. They're paying that man $12 million a year to play 18 minutes a night. When he was playing for the Avs, he was playing north of 20 minutes every single night.
He was playing 26, 28 minutes in playoff games.
He was rather ghosty. Now,
there was one play.
He got space in the third period. There was one dangerous play where Mikko had space, but that was it. Back half of period 1, all of period 2, all of period 3, except for one little offensive zone sequence, I didn't even notice 96 out there.
Right, I noticed Wyatt Johnston. I certainly noticed Mason Marchment more in this game. That is something that should be a little concerning to Stars fans, is going, well, we gave up one of our favorite players for you. Logan Stankoven no longer here. He's now a member of the Carolina Hurricanes. We'll see his playoff debut in red and white tomorrow for the Hurricanes against the New Jersey Devils, another red and white team. I would be concerned, because I don't know if he fits the system. I really don't think he and Pete DeBoer are the right coach for the right player. DeBoer is perfect for this 4-line rolling type of thing. Maybe it's too early. Maybe you do need a full season of chemistry to really find who's going to be your winger. Now Jason Robertson is injured. Who's actually going to play with him? Rantanen did throw one pretty large body check, but it happened to be against the smallest guy on the ice in Sam Girard. I agree. I didn't notice him tonight. I want you guys to join us, 303-504-0925 on the Shop Mazda text line this evening. Jump in the chat on YouTube, on Twitch, on X as well. Spring and I live from the Buffalo Rose here in Golden, Colorado since 1859. It's largely on the same footprint that it started back in 1859. This place is unbelievable. They're pouring us beautiful shooters, dollar off Bud Light pints. It's been a wonderful evening. Make sure you guys hang out with us and Milan Hajduk. Get this, Milan Hajduk is going to be at our viewing party on Monday from Three Dogs Tavern in in the Highlands.
Oh, of course. Milan is an all-time great. We are all-time greats of post-game coverage. It's a match made in heaven. It's fun being back on 92.5 FM tonight, as we will be for this entire playoff run. We knew we would be, and now it's here. So we can't swear, but we are also
it's going to be difficult.
We are also on our social media channels as well. We're out at the Buffalo Rose in Golden tonight. It has been fantastic. Okay, that's what Dallas did tonight. The Avalanche really, they were 100% healthy coming into this game. Everybody was back.
Everybody was available,
including Gabriel Landeskog. He did not play tonight.
Do you know how hard it was for me to keep that in? I've known that Gabriel Landeskog wasn't playing in today's hockey game since 10:30 in the morning.
You texted me this morning. I gave you a 4-letter word in return when I heard your news, and I did not tell anybody because I'm a good soldier. So Gabe made the trip, and I wanted him to make the trip. He should make the trip. Jared Bednar said he was an option in this series, and the reason you make the trip is who knows how Game 1 unfolds. Well, Ross Colton got hurt in this game. Took a quick shift in the third period. I don't know when he got hurt. Must have been second period, probably late second period. He comes out in the third, gives it a go, says, no, this is no good, and leaves the ice. If he can't play Monday night, now the word was from the insiders, from Adrian Dater, that Gabe was going to get held off until the first home game, Game 3 on Wednesday night. But now with Colton getting hurt, does that change? Does Gabe play Monday night?
So your three options now are Landeskog, Jimmy Vesey, and Miles Wood. I believe that Gabriel Landeskog is by far the best option of those three players. By far the best option. I would hope that he plays in game number 2.
Well, and
if Colton can't go, 92 is my option.
Oh, and I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. Hell, I would have played him tonight. I look, Parker Kelly, they like him on the PK, and Parker had a good game. Parker Kelly had an assist tonight in this game.
I thought Parker Kelly was awesome on the PK. The Avs PK was damn good tonight.
Well, and they weren't messing around. You know, first penalty kill of the night, it's Val Nichushkin and Charlie Coyle as your two penalty-killing forwards. Now, and obviously Makar and Taves, and they always start the PK, but I've noticed in the back half of the regular season, it wouldn't always be Nichushkin or MacKinnon, who is another excellent penalty killer. Charlie Coyle, I feel like we haven't seen much of on the PK, but boy, does he profile as a penalty killer.
Oh, he is. I think that's the best part of his game. It's either that or face-offs.
Sure.
That is the best part of Charlie Coyle's game. When you see the Avs down on a 5-on-3, and by the way, I guess we can get to the 5-on-3. That looked like it was going to be a fulcrum in this game, was the Avs get a minute and 23 seconds of a two-man advantage early on in this game. And they don't really do much with it. There was like one really dangerous scoring opportunity where MacKinnon was cutting across from his left to his right side, and he ended up missing the net. The Avs missed the net a billion times tonight. McCarr missed 3 high. I thought that was going to spell doom for the Avs. Mm-hmm. If they go 5-on-3 against, the first player on the ice will be Charlie Coyle.
Well, and so they kill that first penalty, and then the first 2 forwards on the PK are Nichushkin and Coyle, as I was going to say, in the back half of the regular season, they wouldn't always go Nichushkin first. They'd maybe throw O'Connor and Kelly out there first. But this is the playoffs. We're not messing around. Now it's our best personnel in our most desperate situations. So good to kill that first penalty. It was the Josh Manson hold against Matt Duchene, which was a little bit of a weird play. It almost looked like Duchene was the one taking Manson down, but they call a holding on Duchene. I believe that they thought he was holding his stick, Duchene's stick. But either way, the Avs lone PK in the first period after failing to score on a 5-on-3, which a lot of times is a death sentence. You're right, Raj. If you can't score on a 5-on-3 and you have over a minute of that thing, that's usually not a good sign. But the Avs break serve right back, and they kill a penalty of their own. It's a 5-on-4, not a 5-on-3. But regardless, the personnel that they have on their PK is insane, and they might add Gabe Landeskog to that. They might add Gabe Landeskog. They almost have too many killers. They have a ton of killers. Their forward depth at the PK is insane, and they're huge bodies. Nichushkin, Coyle, possibly adding Landeskog. The Stars go 0 for 2. They go 0 for 3, actually. They go 0 for 3 on the power play tonight.
They did score shortly after. The Hintz tip was shortly after a power play, if I'm correct.
Sure.
But it wasn't on the power play. I thought the PK was excellent tonight.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, it was. And, no, it was a power play goal.
Okay, so then it was right at the end of it.
Yeah, it was a power play goal. And that's it. That's all that Dallas got tonight. Their one goal, the one time Mackenzie Blackwood was beat, was on the kill, and his stick was in the net, and it was a tip in front by Rupe Hintz. Let's talk about Mackenzie Blackwood. He was tremendous in his playoff debut tonight.
Did you see what Pete DeBoer said after the game? Have you seen this quote yet?
No.
The first question, what's the difference between the Avalanche last year and this year in the playoffs? His answer goes, well, this year they have Mackenzie Blackwood. That was his quick, snarky response, was to throw shade at Alexander Georgiev. And we're a show that throws a lot of shade, rather, at Mackenzie Blackwood. Now you have the head coach of the Dallas Stars doing that. And I think that tells you just how impressive Blackwood is to other coaches and other teams around the league. We said during the Four Nations face-off this year that the best Canadian goaltender in the world was not even on the roster, and that is Mackenzie Blackwood. He stepped up big time, lets in 1 goal, stops 23 shots on 24 opportunities, a .958 save percentage, and now has a career, I know it's just 1 game, goals against average in the playoffs of 1.
He was so solid and so sound. I mean, a few key sequences tonight where Blackwood was poised, his movement was smooth and fluid. There was one moment in particular midway through this game where it looked like maybe Dallas had kind of a one-time look on a puck that kind of got to the weak side of the Avs defense, but Blackwood was there before the Stars players, a left-handed shot on the right side, before he even had a chance to fire that thing. Blackwood had already read it and had already occupied what could have been an open net.
Was that the Marc-Andre Fleury save?
It might have been the Fleury save and you can see it on our video channels, the arms on the chest.
The 2008 Stanley Cup Final save on Nick Lidstrom when Pittsburgh had fallen the year prior. Big-time save where he goes left to right. Lidstrom's got the one-time opportunity. He goes up and over, saves it with his chest, and the game's over. Crosby raises his first of 3 cups in his career. Blackwood had the same save today. It's not the same situation, but it was the same save.
Raj, both these teams, Dallas and Colorado tonight, each had 24 shots on goal. one of Colorado's goals was an empty netter. So Ottinger allows 4. Blackwood allows 1.
So what's Ottinger's save percentage today?
Let me go back to the overall box score. Ottinger's save percentage was 826.
826. And I was talking about in my pregame show, Spring, about how Jake Ottinger, and you're the one that put me onto this, because every time that I talk about Jake Ottinger, I get scared, right? And the reason why I get scared is because all I have seared into my brain is the 2022 Stanley Cup playoffs, where he stands on his head against the Calgary Flames.
Sure. Great series. He was tremendous in that series.
Absolutely tremendous. Has like a 60-save performance in a losing effort in Game 7. Since then, he's been relatively mediocre in the postseason. Like, I don't think he's struggled, but he's been just okay. Ottinger was really good this year. 58 starts, 38 wins on the season. He had a 181 goals against average and a 954 save percentage in that 7-game series against Calgary. Since then, he is 23-23 with tonight's loss. That save percentage has now dipped below 900, and he has a goals against average that has now climbed up above what was 2.64 and is likely now north of 2.7. And those aren't great numbers.
And these are playoff numbers.
Those are playoff numbers. If you remove the Calgary series, Jake Ottinger would be in the same conversation of like, is he Connor Hellebuck? Is he really good? And then the playoffs happen and he's not good enough? Just look at the last three. I'm not saying the series is over. Like, certainly, it's a very long series against an awesome team in Dallas. But look at the last 3 games that he played against Edmonton. 9 goals on 54 shots last year. They lost 3 straight. Edmonton goes to the Cup final. Is he really that great? Is there really... We talk about a chasm between Avs goaltending and Jake Ottinger. Is there a chasm between Mackenzie Blackwood and Stars goaltending?
Well, we talked about it in our Stanley Cup playoff preview show that Blackwood finished the season 5th. I think he was 5th in the NHL in save percentage among qualified starters. You know, starters who have played at least 40 or who had at least 40 starts this season. Ottinger was 8th. Now it's not bad. You know, but Blackwood had a better, and to me, save percentage is like, that's just the catch-all, you know? Goals against, a lot of that can be...
how much you play.
Yeah, the save percentage is just shots thrown at you.
It's like batting average.
Yes, and Blackwood had a better season than Jake Ottinger. Yeah, look at, so Ottinger's an 826 save percentage tonight. Yeah, in the last 3 games of the Western Conference Finals against the Oilers, here we go. 800 in Game 6. That was a 6-game series. Ottinger, an 800, an 80 on the save percentage. 88.5 the game before. 85.7 the game before that. He's on a 4-game playoff streak of a sub-900 save percentage. Mackenzie Blackwood opens his Stanley Cup playoff career. This is his first Stanley Cup playoff game. Now, Ottinger's a couple years younger than Blackwood. Blackwood is 28 years old, but he was a good prospect on a Devils team that wasn't ready. And then he was on the Sharks. You know what happens when you're on the Sharks? You're not playing in the playoffs. But Blackwood had a 911 save percentage with San Jose before he got traded to the Avs. He was coming along. You could see it even the year before with San Jose. And in his playoff debut, a 9.58. One of these goaltenders was Georgiev-esque tonight. One of them was not. Ottinger was the Georgiev tonight.
Get ready for Party to Puck Drop at Larimer Square all postseason long. It all kicks off 2.5 hours before each home game with Bernie, Ice Patrol, Donovan, a live DJ, and more. You can even win tickets to that night's game at every single party. Then, an hour and a half before Puck Drop, join Bernie and the Selly Squad drumline for the March to Ball Arena. Learn more at coloradoavalanche.com/playoffs today. That is coloradoavalanche.com/playoffs today. So, if you guys are used to listening to Between the Pipes on YouTube, on X, on Twitch during the regular season when we're not on 92.5. There's going to be a little bit of an odd break here. We're going to take a quick commercial break, so it's going to be silent on the social channels for like 4 minutes, but we're going to be back. We're going to be talking to you guys for the better part of this 10 o'clock hour live from the Buffalo Rose in Golden, Colorado. It's Between the Pipes with Mark Springer and Alex Ryanemi. Avs win 5-1.
Altitude Sports Radio is the home of your Denver Nuggets, and we want to put you at Ball Arena for all the playoff action.
Well, if you're not awake yet, you are now.
All day Monday. It's a Nuggets Playoff Ticket Monday.
Mondays are awesome.
We've got your tickets for Nuggets Clippers Game 2.
That's big right there now.
Listen on the 20s for keywords to text and enter. It's a Nuggets Playoff Ticket Monday.
Well, I will see you Monday.
From the home of the Nuggets, Altitude Sports Radio 92.5.
This joyful sound is the No More Chemo bell at Intermountain Health St. George Hospital. And it means that Sarah Parker beat cancer. It also means her doctor spotted it early enough to treat, and that her oncologist helped her fight it every step of the way. It means that her nurse helped her keep track of medicines, and that a case manager made the whole experience just a little bit easier. Every time we hear that bell, it reminds us that all things are possible when we work together. It reminds us of the power of we. Intermountain Health.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1, sound the horn.
Avs faithful, game's over. With every breakaway, every assist, every amazing save, the Avs leave it all on the ice. Now it's your turn to close out strong. When you recycle your aluminum cans, you score big for sustainability. Let's celebrate together and go all in for a sustainable future. All in for the Avs. All in for aluminum. Ball. All in.
Over for MacKinnon. He scores!
Playoff tickets are in high demand, and this is your chance to beat the crowd. Join our limited ticket priority list for exclusive access, last-minute game day tickets, and much more.
Car drive. He scores! All hail Kale!
Being built different means you're always one step ahead. Sign up now and stay on top of the game.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey!
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, imported by William Grant & Sons, Inc.
Today at Berg Simpson, we'll get a call from someone who needs our help. We'll learn about their loved one's injuries. We'll listen to their concerns, and we'll promise to fight for them. Then we'll use our resources and experience to deliver the best possible results we can for that client. So today, when that client calls Berg Simpson, we hope they feel they've done the best thing for their family.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives.
Hey, it's Francisco from Rhinehouse, and let's get this straight. It takes balls to play bocce.
That's because bocce is lawn bowling.
Right.
Okay.
At Rhinehouse, we're all about the fun of bocce and great German-style food, and I've got the wieners to prove it.
Hang on. You mean sausages?
Right again.
Oh, boy.
All your favorite German delights here at Rhinehouse.
I do love those huge pretzels.
Let me cook something up for you.
Rhinehouse, close to Ball Arena on 14th and Market.
Colorado Avalanche Stanley Cup playoff hockey. You're Between the Pipes with Raj and Spring. Live from Buffalo Rose in Golden on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5.
Welcome back inside the historic Buffalo Rose in downtown Golden, Colorado, home to the rugged frontier spirit of the American West since 1859. Thanks to our friends at Bud Light. $1 off Bud Light pints every single playoff game up here at the Buffalo Rose in Golden. This place is awesome. Like, awesome. My type of place. Even if there isn't a game here, appetizers and a couple of drinks, cocktails, date night, I would do it. But if you guys didn't join us tonight, and you didn't have a chance to win the signed Cale Makar photo, to win the signed Nathan MacKinnon hockey stick. Yeah, that's right, the guy who has a chance to win back-to-back MVPs for the first time since Alexander Ovechkin did it in 2008 and 2009. You could have won that if you were here tonight. You have a chance to win other signed merchandise coming up on Monday night for Game 2 against Dallas at the Three Dogs Tavern. And get this, Avs great, former Rocket Richard winner, retired jersey, Milan Hajduk is going to be there in person to watch the game with us, sign autographs, take pictures, as well as a live studio broadcast of the Altitude Sports Radio Network with myself, Between the Pipes with Spring and me, and it's all brought to you by Bud Light. Again, that's Three Dogs Tavern in the Highlands on Monday night starting at 7 p.m. We've been talking, as we should have, about Mackenzie Blackwood's stellar performance, but I don't want to let this go without mention, because he's so good. And I force myself to do this about Nikola Jokic all the time, Spring. Force yourself to appreciate greatness. Nathan MacKinnon, with a 3-point night, 50 goals. There's only 8 players that have scored 50 goals in their careers in the postseason faster than him. Are you ready to hear these nutso names?
I'm ready.
Mario Lemieux, Brett Hull, Wayne Gretzky, Mike Bossy, Yari Curry, Maurice Rocket Richard, Cam Neely, and Glenn Anderson. The next guy on that list is Nathan MacKinnon.
Well, Mikko Rantanen's not playing with Nathan MacKinnon anymore. And that hurts. That hurts you. Yeah, he was great tonight. He gets high-sticked. He bleeds. What a great rule. Love that rule.
It's my favorite rule in sport.
Isn't it kind of arbitrary?
I would be a Peaky Blinder. I would keep a razor blade inside my glove, and if I got hit, I would just cut my lip and then just squeeze a little bit. I can deal with a scar for an extra 2 minutes for my boys if it's a playoff game.
Like you're a pro wrestler. You're blading, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
A little bit of sandpaper on the inside of the glove and just.
Because you see some high sticks that can be brutal, but just for whatever reason, you don't bleed.
I feel like the Avs never bleed.
Well, finally, Nathan MacKinnon, a superhero, bled his own blood.
I was waiting for the White Goodman.
And that was his first goal of the night. He would then get an empty net goal. But, it's the 6 shots on goal. It was the zone entries. It was the speed. There was one zone entry where he was so fast he fell down. He skated too fast, actually. But 6 shots on goal, 2 goals, 1 assist. And, I thought, and you had said when we were watching this game here out at Buffalo Rose and Golden in the first period, and we saw the lines that kind of I was expecting coming into this game. The original lines from, the early days just after the trade deadline, MacKinnon, Necas, Lehkonen, Nelson, Nichushkin, Drouin. Really, that top 6 is what we'll focus on. And then we saw mixing and matching for the remainder of the regular season. And then Jared Bednar, it was a full circle right back to just after the trade deadline. And so it goes to show that he really was just like, well, let me see what I have. Let's try this combination. But in the back of his mind, he probably always knew, no, I like the original ones. And that's what we saw tonight. But what you were saying, Raj, in the first period is one thing about the MacKinnon, Necas, Lehkonen line. All 3 of those guys, maybe Lehkonen is the most of these 3, but he's a smaller player. That line lacks a little bit of a net front presence. That's what you were saying to me in the first period, and I thought that the top line was a little slow or a little ineffective. That's probably too harsh of a word, but I'll say ineffective in the first period. I thought the best line in the first period was the second line, the Nelson, Nichushkin, Drouin line. Now that line has a little more size, a little more net front presence. But then as this game got going, the top line really started to make things happen.
I also thought that MacKinnon, despite having 3 points tonight, I don't think he had his best game. I thought he was kept to the outside a lot today. Mm-hmm. And it might have been because of the ice at Dallas. And the ice at American Airlines Center is notoriously bad. It's notoriously soft, and it gets softer as the game continues to go. I wonder if he comes back for Game 3 and you see that same pace out of MacKinnon, even if he plays with the same guys on his wing. I think you'll see him attack the middle of the ice a little bit more. He was being kept to the outside by Cody Ceci. Cody Ceci had a shockingly good game tonight. at least from an eye test perspective. He knocks down a 2-on-1 that MacKinnon and Marty Natchez had, if I'm correct.
Yeah, and I was going to mention that play because that was one where Natchez and MacKinnon got loose, and Natchez had I think the play was to shoot.
Look off the pass and then rip it.
Yeah, because Cece was there. You could see he was in position for the cross-ice pass because he didn't want to let Nate get that thing. So it was really on Nate.
The puck gets to MacKinnon, it's in the net.
Yes. So it was really Nate just needed to make the read, okay, I need to shoot this thing. But when you're, Nate just has played not even half a season with this team. And when you have Nathan MacKinnon on the other side, I think there's a sense of, I got to get Nate this puck. But, man, we are still – we haven't seen it yet, and I said it after the trade deadline. There's going to be a rush goal between Natchez and MacKinnon that is going to blow people's minds because both those dudes are so fast. But they started to get more space as this game went on. And the first goal is scored courtesy of the top line. Now, Arturi Lehkonen.
16 games without a goal going into tonight's match.
Yep, we talked about this on our preview show. He last scored on March 10th against the Blackhawks, though he's had some close looks, has been a little snake-bitten, and he's a playoff dog. We talked about his great playoff numbers on that show. I don't have him up in front of me right now, but he has great playoff numbers. He's scored clutch playoff goals. And like I said, he's been snake-bitten. He's been close. He's been working hard, and that's what this goal is. He works hard. He puts a shot on net, a good high shot on Jake Ottinger, and it's like he was Russell Westbrook crashing the glass. Like he went in for the offensive rebound, and you know what happens? You get rewarded when that happens. He gets kind of tangled up with Maverick Bork. Was Maverick Bork that draft pick whose parents made out, or is that somebody else?
No, that's Maverick Bork.
That's Maverick Bork, okay. His parents made out.
If you guys missed that, it's an awesome YouTube clip. Just look at just YouTube Maverick Bork's parents, and they go tongue deep in each other's throats after their son. And you know what? If I ever have a kid that's drafted in the first round of the NHL entry draft, you know what? Caitlin, get ready for it, honey. We'll do it on national TV.
Oh,
but the French-Canadian are built different.
Yeah. No, yeah, no,
we're still doing phrasing.
They're from French Canada, so they went in for the French kiss. No, hey, make out. Your son just got drafted, but now your son gets tangled up with Arturi Lehkonen, and, he gets rewarded because he puts a good high shot on Ottinger. He crashes the glass or the net, and he gets tangled up with Bork. He's falling down, and it just so happens that, as he falls down, his flailing leg, his flailing skate kicks the puck in. Now they review this, and I knew they were going to review this.
Brian Boucher, by the way, I listened to it quickly, insufferable on the TNT broadcast about how that was an intentional kick.
That's the key. It has to be a distinct kicking motion. It has to be an intentional kicking motion. Lehkonen is falling. He has no idea where the puck is. It's just good luck is all that. Good luck, Lecky, is what that was. It's just a happy accident, but I'm telling you, it's a reward for doing the right thing. Like the hockey gods just simply smiled on Arturi Lehkonen in that moment.
I saw a really good text. The underlying factor in this game, the Avalanche give up just 13 shots at 5-on-5. Just 13 shots. That's all because Chris McFarland makes these trades to make the Avs deeper, to make them bigger throughout the middle of the ice. They dominate on the face-off dot tonight as well. Like, look at these face-off numbers. Nathan MacKinnon was not great in the third period, but going into the third period had 57.8% on the dot. He ends like 9 of 21. He lost a lot down the stretch. Jack Drury, 7 of 11. Charlie Coyle, 9 of 14 on the dot tonight. That's big time. And it matters for them. And DeBoer is a coach that loves winning faceoffs. And if you can get underneath that guy's skin by holding possession off the draw, I think that's a really good way to get the Dallas Stars off their game. Am I the guy that says you live and die on faceoffs? No, I think it matters more when you win them rather than how many of them you actually win. Nelson, Coyle, MacKinnon, they're good enough on the draw this year to make it not a pain point for the Avs.
Jack Drury, 7 of 11 on draws. It's what they did at the center position, and it was tougher to get AHL box scores, but Landeskog on that Saturday night had to be fairly north of 50% as well.
He jumped it and took a bunch.
Yeah, so when you get him back too, you got another capable face-off taker. Although Landeskog will play the wing a lot, he's very good in the face-off circle. So, yeah, middle of the ice. I thought Brock Nelson had one of his better games as an Av overall tonight. He was active. He was very noticeable, smart plays, and you expect that from a Brock Nelson, from a Charlie Coyle. Charlie Coyle, I think I saw a graphic, he's played more playoff games than like anyone on the Avs.
120 or 122, I believe, after tonight's game.
By a significant margin. I think that the next closest Avs were in the high 90s. You know, Coyle, he hasn't missed. He's been in the playoffs every single year of his career.
What a cool stat to have. I hope that maintains throughout his whole career. He goes, yeah, I never missed it, guys. And I hope to God he gets a ring.
Well,
this is his best chance.
Yeah, it absolutely is his best chance. So solid up the middle. You know, it's what Sean Payton wants to be with the Broncos, solid up the middle. He always talks about it, and the Avs are solid up the middle right now. And then defensively, too. I thought Ryan Lindgren had a good game. Like, that was their big defensive additions, save for the delay of game. Little backhand sauce that goes over the glass. I mean, he knew it immediately. But, I mean, Lindgren has an assist. Makar has an assist. Josh Manson has an assist. Devon Taves has a goal from Josh Manson.
A 4-on-2 with a net drive from a D-man got me all sorts of excited.
Now, Ross Colton, this was in the third period. He's out of the game, and I noticed it was Kiviranta was on the ice. O'Connor was on the ice. I don't know who the other forward is. I'm going to assume it was Charlie Coyle, and that O'Connor was getting the bump up with Colton out. But look, you don't have Colton, and you're Devon Taves. You're down a forward. I'll play forward, coach. That's what
activate.
That's what Devon Taves said.
Really good point from Guru here in the chat on Twitch and on YouTube. If Chris McFarland doesn't make the move to ship Mikko Rantanen off and make the Avs deeper through the middle, and I always talk about MacKinnon, Nelson, Coyle. Drury's one guy that you can't overlook. If they don't make those moves, I completely agree with you, Guru. I don't think they can handle Dallas, even when Dallas is this injured.
Yeah, no, we talked about Dallas being a four-line team. Now the Avs are a four-line team with star power, with high-end elite talent. They're as filled out as they have been, as good as they have been since the 22 Cup team. There's not one player. I mean, in recent years, you'd look at the forward group and you'd say, I don't know about this guy. I don't know about that guy. I can go, obviously, from the top line, but down to the fourth line, like Parker Kelly is a good penalty killer and occupied good spots when he was in 5-on-5 situations tonight. Parker Kelly has earned this role. Yoel Kiviranta has earned this role. And we know what he can do in the playoffs. It's just a matter of time until Kiviranta scores against the Stars in this series. We know what he did against the Avs as a member of the Stars a few years ago.
Mark Lazarus, senior writer at The Athletic for the NHL, tweets this out 45 minutes ago. Jason Robertson was in a large knee brace, ankle to thigh, limping pretty significantly. He's officially week to week, but it doesn't look good. What that screams to me, this is an injury I had in college. That screams to me to be an LCL injury, where you can play on it, but you're a shell of yourself. You can load bear if you are putting weight directly on your knee in a straight line, but as soon as you decide to start to stride, and strides are made at 45-degree angles, that LCL just gives out, and you don't have any power to push on it. When Lazarus texts, the fact that he's in a knee brace, ankle to thigh, dude, I don't think Jason Robertson's playing in the series.
That's not one of those like Stone Cold Steve Austin knee braces. That's like a full leg cast.
Yeah, that's a big boy
knee brace.
That's not good for the Dallas Stars. Again, if you're used to watching Between the Pipes on YouTube, Twitch, and X, there's going to be a little bit of a different broadcast setup for the remainder of the postseason. When we're out here live on location, like we'll be at Three Dog Tavern out in the Highlands on Monday, or when we do all of our live broadcasts right above Section 136 at every Avs home game show, we're going to have some breaks. And we're going to go into one of those right now. We'll be back in 4 minutes. This is Altitude Sports Radio 92.5 Between the Pipes with Mark Springer and Alex Ryanemi. Live at the historic Buffalo Rose in downtown Golden, Colorado. It's been here since 1859. Between the Pipes with Alex Ryanemi and Mark Springer. Avs a 5-1 victory in Game 1 of the Western Conference quarterfinal on the road at the Dallas Stars. It was a double dipperoo on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5 today. A double dubberoo for both the Nuggets and the Avs. It was a little bit easier for the Avs than it was the Nuggets. Nuggets had to go to OT. They rode the Russell Westbrook roller coaster up and down. 112-110 is the final there for the Nuggets. Before this series kicked off, this was a pick'em for the Avs and the Stars. It was about minus 110 on each side, or pick 'em depending on the book that you were looking at. When Jason Robertson and Miro Heiskanen were ruled out for Game 1, it went all the way to minus 185 on my book. You win Game 1 on the road, man, you are in the driver's seat. If the Avs can find a way to get this thing done on Monday, if Gabe Landeskog slots into that lineup and looks good, and they come out with a 2-0 series victory, I thought you were crazy when you said Avs in 4. If they win on Monday, man, Avs in 4.
Yeah, okay, so, I mean, the Avs are now the favorites, and they were the favorites to win the Cup a couple days ago at, like, plus 750 with, like, the Panthers right behind them. Maybe the Hurricanes, like an Eastern Conference team was right behind them at plus 800. Avs are now plus 600 as the favorites to win the Stanley Cup. Panthers and Jets with that comeback win tonight, giving some people some hope that the 1 seed, and maybe that's the second round matchup. I predicted Avs Blues. I don't really care. Blues, Jets. I mean, the Avs are the favorites right now, and the favorites for a reason. You know, we've talked about it, and like here's, you know, you mentioned Pete DeBoer's quote saying that now they have Mackenzie Blackwood. And he also says they're a deeper team than they were a year ago. That's exactly what we've been talking about tonight. They are deep, lines 1 through 4. Scott Wedgwood said it earlier this year, 4 lines, 60, 2 tendies. They are stacked in every single group since the trade deadline. And they're healthy, except for Ross Colton. We'll see what his status is there. Maybe that means Gabe Landeskog slots in a little earlier than Game 3. Maybe he slots in on Monday night. So the Avs on Monday night for Game 2 are minus 155 road favorites. This is the mighty Stars.
Whoa, they were way closer to even money on the money line tonight.
Well, they've won. Now they've won, and we know that Robertson's in all likelihood out. In fact, I mean, he's going to be out based on what you've told
I think
me.
Robertson is out. Heiskanen, I think that they're going to panic and put him in.
They might panic and put him in. We talked about that to start the show. Now, but either way, they know that that's not a Heiskanen that's ready to go. So based on the 2 big injuries, whether one of them plays or not for Dallas on Monday, whether both of them play, whether neither of them play, we've also just seen that the Avs won this game 5-1 on the road. So the Avs are minus 155 favorites on Monday. And then Gabe is debuting, if not Monday, then Wednesday for probably sure. This series, I said it. And I was thinking, you know, it would be great if Landeskog played in Game 1. But either way, if the Avs get a Game 1 win, this thing has the potential to snowball and just get away from Dallas, and they'll be looking back saying, what the heck just happened?
You have to make sure that you come out in that first period. I think you score the first goal, and it puckers them up pretty quick.
Yeah.
The first period on Monday night is everything in this series. If you can get out to an early lead, it is everything. Now, if Dallas scores early and that play starts rocking, and I know, by the way, Glassbanger, did you know this? The guy who was on a white suit all year last year and just banged the glass the whole time. You remember that annoying guy?
Is this the Stars guy?
The Stars guy.
I don't remember this guy.
I can't believe you don't remember Glassbanger.
Well, all I remember behind the Stars bench is a couple women who were, one of them tonight was wearing a shirt that said, "My cup size is Stanley." That was what the shirt read. My cup size is Stanley.
This guy. Do you remember him in the white shirt? He had the big sign that says #bang.
Oh, okay.
And he just bangs the glass the whole time. You can hear it on the broadcast. It was miserable. He hasn't been around all season because he's in jail until the end of May.
Oh, no, he's like Chiefsaholic?
He's like Chiefsaholic.
There's something about
right to jail, right away.
that Midwest belt, whether it's Kansas City or Dallas. I tweeted this word earlier today, and I'll apply it to these people. They are heathens is what they are.
So Glassbanger is out of there, thankfully. And that's all I care about, is that I don't have to listen to that guy hammer on the plexiglass for the entirety of the series.
My.
Spring, another game tonight. 5-3 is the final between the Winnipeg Jets and the St. Louis Blues. St. Louis had a 3-2 lead with a minute into the second period of this one. Jordan Kyrou scores. It was 3 goals on 17 shots against Connor Hellebuck. They scored 3 goals in the third period at home to flip that script, go up 1-0 as the President's Trophy winners. St. Louis I still think it's going to be a tough out for them. That does feel like it lets a lot of air out of the Blues balloon.
Yeah, because you score the first goal. Rob Thomas scores the first goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs. He took a break from Matchbox 20 to score for the Blues tonight. So you have a 1-0 lead. Then you have a 3-2 lead. Going into the third period, and you blow that thing. That sucks. But we'll see. Like, when this series gets back to St. Louis, like, St. Louis has already proven tonight, like, hey, we can compete with these guys. So we'll see when it goes back to St. Louis. But, look, playoff Hellebuck showed up tonight. He allows 3 goals. Mackenzie Blackwood allows 1 goal tonight. And it was a power play goal that bounced in that he didn't really see with screeners in front, and his stick was in the net. That's all that Blackwood allowed tonight.
It was really odd. With that goal, and I know a tip goal is a hockey goal, but Blackwood's stick is hanging in the netting, so he's not really fully there. He's kind of reaching for Eric Johnson's stick, and typically you'll see that in the NHL. You'll see that in all levels of hockey, where if a goaltender doesn't have his stick, a D-man will give it to him so that he can try to redirect pucks to the corner. I don't think he gets a stick on the shot because it gets tipped from hits the ice, bounces over the blocker. It probably goes in anyway. It felt like the first hockey goal was the Devon Taves goal. Like, the MacKinnon one was crazy. The MacKinnon shot gets tipped off of a Dallas defenseman, and Ottinger has to try and figure out where this thing's going to go. He misses it. I can't fault the goaltender on either one of those goals. And
those are special teams goals.
Right. I can't fault Mackenzie Blackwood on the tip. The first hockey goal of the game, and there were really only 2 of them, was Taves going to the back post, and then Charlie Coyle scoring 11 seconds after an empty netter.
Yeah, the Coyle goal's a thanks for coming goal. So, yeah, it really – we saw there was a game a few weeks ago where the Avs' only goal, it was a Taves tip from the slot. And it was like 2 straight games where the Avs had only scored 1 goal in each game, and they were both from defensemen. And one of them was a Taves tip in the slot, assisted by a defenseman. So kind of – now, that was a rough offensive stretch for the Avs. Here, the Avs had an overall good offensive game, but Taves shows he can activate and, get into the slot, get even deeper than the slot like he did tonight. We see Cale do that. Taves can do that. These are heady two-way defensemen, Cale and Taves. But, okay, back to the Jets and Blues series. Hellebuck allows 3 goals. St. Louis blows this thing. Whichever team comes out of this series, should the Avalanche continue to do what they're doing, and there's no reason they shouldn't, should they stay healthy, knock on all the wood in front of me, neither of these teams scare me. Playoff Hellebuck or the Blues, and Binnington's going to come back down to earth eventually. Hell, he did today. Neither of these teams scare me.
I said it in my pregame show. There was a reason why the Dallas Stars and Winnipeg Jets were going so hard at the end of the season. No one wanted to face Colorado in round 1. That is the scariest team in the bracket to have to face right now. Think about the East side, right? Toronto and Ottawa, it's a good matchup. Tampa and Florida, that was kind of destined, although I think all 3 of those teams in Florida, Tampa, and Toronto were really jockeying to get the Senators as their first-round matchup. I don't see a team in the East that you go, I don't want to face them right now. They look hot. You might be able to say that about the defending Stanley Cup champions.
I would say if Florida's healthy, they're the team.
But I don't know if they're fully healthy.
Sure.
I can't buy that they're fully healthy.
When you look at the roster, did you see Big Cat from Barstool? He has bet the Avs to win the Cup.
Hate that. Love Big Cat.
But he did it because
he's a mush.
He did it because he's just looking at the rosters, and he looks at the Avs roster and he says, "My God, And that's what, when you look at Florida's roster, you're kind of like, my God. So, yeah, Colorado's the most dangerous team in the league right now. There's no doubt about it.
They certainly are. If you guys missed tonight's broadcast, missed tonight's viewing party out here at Golden, make sure you join us on Monday night for Game 2 against Dallas at Three Dogs Tavern in the Highlands. Milan Hajduk's going to be there to watch the game, sign autographs, take pictures. We'll have a live broadcast of the Altitude Sports Radio Network. Spring and I will be there live giving away signed Avs merch. Again, that is Three Dogs Tavern, courtesy of Bud Light, on Monday night starting at 7 p.m., and that'll do it for us. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Avs win 5-1 for Connor McGahey, for KJ Granderson back at the NHL studios in Lone Tree, for Mark Springer, for Dixon Lawson. My name is Alex Ryanemi. Avs win. Can't wait to see you guys on Monday night. A perfect start to the playoff run.